60 years ago today, one of the most enduring mysteries of modern times burst into the public arena, the Roswell incident, the reported crash of a flying saucer. The U.S. military says it's all a misunderstanding caused by a downed weather balloon. But the official story keeps changing. I-Team's George Knapp has been digging into the Roswell crash for a lot of years and is here now with a fresh look.
A lot of years, you're right, Dave. One of the reasons for our interest in Roswell is its purported relationship to Nevada's Area 51, which carries its own legacy regarding crashed UFOs. 60 years ago today, a New Mexico rancher named Mac Brazel gathered up a pile of strange debris and headed into town. His find led to an astonishing announcement by our military that a flying saucer had been recovered. For some, the story's been discredited. Maybe not.
Dad, what was that? Not the spaceship. What was that? Roswell, New Mexico, yeah.
The Roswell incident is firmly entrenched in popular culture. Major movies have looked at it, along with dozens of books, mainstream media articles, and the namesake town finally embraced the tourism potential of the story, sponsoring annual shindigs that draw an eclectic crowd. Even the strongest supporters of the crashed saucer story can't agree on the basics. Some of the witnesses who've come forward have turned out to be phonies, and the U.S. military has really muddied the waters, perhaps on purpose, by issuing 4 different official versions of the story.
We're confident once the report is out and digested by the public that this will be the final word on the Roswell incident.
For one man in particular, the search for the truth is personal.
So it's the degree of the strangeness of the material and my dad's excitement that really made an impression upon me. So with that, it'd be pretty hard to forget what I saw.
Jesse Marcel Jr. is a Montana surgeon. In 1947, his father, Major Jesse Marcel, was the intelligence officer for the 509th Bomb Wing, stationed at Roswell's Army Air Base, the only atomic bomb wing in the world.
And he was the intelligence officer for the group, which meant he was not a fly-by-nighter. He was all the members of the 509th were handpicked for their credibility, for their intelligence, and their smartness. And it was his job to brief some of the crews that might have been preparing to drop the bomb on Japan.
His father's credibility is one of the main reasons Marcel Jr. wrote a new book, The Roswell Legacy. Over the years, his father's been attacked as a liar, even a traitor, by those seeking to discredit the flying saucer story, a story, by the way, that was first told by the military. In the summer of 1947, the country was abuzz with reports of flying saucers. 75 miles north of Roswell, a rancher discovered strange debris covering a field. When he took it to town, the base dispatched Major Marcel to investigate. Marcel found a large area covered with weird wreckage. He brought some home and showed it to his family. He didn't speak publicly about it until decades later when he was interviewed by nuclear physicist Stan Friedman.
These little members could not be broken, could not be burned. I even tried to burn that. It would not burn. He says, I tried to bend the stuff. He says, it will not bend. He says, we did all we could to bend it. It would not bend.
But the most unusual debris that I saw were the beams. I remember them as being like I-beams. I think they were metallic or metal. And on the inner surface of the I-beam, there were some symbols or some, for lack of a better word, hieroglyphics.
But they weren't hieroglyphics or any other known language. When the base commander saw the wreckage, he okayed a press release announcing the recovery of a flying saucer. It caused a worldwide sensation for a day. That's when General Roger Ramey told the world the debris was from a weather balloon. Ramey, Marcel, and others posed for reporters with scraps from a real weather balloon. But Marcel said years later this wasn't what he found in the desert. In the 1990s, the Air Force issued 2 other versions of the story, basically admitting it had lied twice before. What crashed at Roswell wasn't just a balloon, but a really secret mogul balloon. And those reports about saucers were probably caused by test vehicles for the Viking space probe. Case closed, the Air Force said. The Air Force story has holes, though. A weather balloon wouldn't cover 3/4 of a mile. The material examined by the Marcels was far different from routine foil from a balloon or radar target. Marcel Sr. certainly knew what a balloon looked like since they were launched from the base twice a day, and those Viking probes weren't built until the 70s. Thanks to computer technology, there's a new piece of physical evidence, an enhanced view of a telegram held by General Ramey during the news conference with references to victims of the crash. Also, new testimony from eyewitnesses about the debris and the bodies.
These people are telling the truth. It's not one person, it's not 10 people, it's over 100 people.
The information from that enhanced view of the telegram is astounding. So is the list of new witnesses who've come forward since the Air Force announced in the 90s there would be no legal penalties for talking about Roswell.